question out there, Ada. Yeah, because I just remember, this Equifax 2017 attack, right? Equifax is actually a credit reporting agency, Bureau, right? So they are more like consumers. They were consuming a certain application, right? I can't remember. I think Apache Strut or something. I really remember, but you know, just like you said, a patch to that vulnerability was made, right, by Apache, but Equifax was not really prompt, and the emphasis on promptness. So you could see just not promptly updating your systems could could make your systems vulnerable. And of course, these guys are not really, really smiling, right? They're always there waiting patiently, always listening to see if there is a hole. If there is a hole, they will strike, So what late could cost them. Yeah. So what you said is spot on. Thank you so much for that. We let me hear from Ayola. What we are doing here. It's of course you don't expect me to come and teach you something else, right? That's not what we're doing in our reflections. Our reflections is basically for us to rub our minds together, brainstorm from the little knowledge you've been able to pick one or two times in any of the class activities, right? This is internship. This is like you guys are working with Digital Notion, right? My job is to either help amplify whatever input you make, answer your questions, and provide guidance, right? So I wish everybody will pay attention to what is going on here. One way or the other, you're going to pick something that you might not have come across all your time. And then you could also pick it up in a way that is actually very, very simple. That's simplified, really. So, Ada, thank you so much for that input coming from that direction. So, Ayola Alegbe, yeah, go ahead. You can unmute.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's actually Ayola Alegbe.
Alegbe, yeah, correct. Thank you so much. Alegbe.
Ah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes. But you tried. It was.
Yeah, I should try because I worked on it. Just that maybe I didn't check out your name on Google this time to get the correct pronunciation. Maybe
Okay,
that's why I
it's
couldn't
fine.
get it exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, speaking on the first week's challenge, I've actually learned a lot of about cybersecurity in the practical way, because I've mostly been doing theory and reading up to now. So I have a much deeper understanding of the OWASP's top 10 vulnerabilities and how they can seriously affect businesses that rely on networks and systems a lot, especially big and large-scale businesses, as seen with the Equifax incident. So, but I found that it is crucial to investigate and mitigate risks through whether you research, analyzing how they could affect, how the vulnerabilities can affect the real world, like the CVEs that were mentioned and we did research on, and also figure out their potential impacts while also looking for solutions for the company. But I would say one of my biggest takeaways was that understanding the importance of being proactive, because I saw that it was mentioned in the case study for Equifax that they were not proactive enough in order to predict that, we must patch, we must update our system, because that is being proactive, not when something has happened and they are now looking for solution to it. So, like I said, keeping system being proactive in keeping system up to date and applying patches, like was shown in the Equifax speech. And it's really I liked it how a small oversight can have large consequences. But beyond the challenge, I was able to strengthen my critical thinking, problem solving. It also pushed me to prioritize risk and come up with practical solutions. And I also got better at communicating technical ideas, which was already someone has mentioned before that this should be an important skill for cybersecurity practitioners to be able to, because not everybody understands all the technical jargon that we use. So it was very important to be able to pass that on and say, oh, this is how, excluding the technical side, this is how it can affect the company so that everyone involved can understand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayola. Ayola, thank you so much for that input. That's highly noted. Ismail Usari, you can unmute your mic. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately, I joined the class late last week, so I couldn't really understand much of this. But after a while, I went through the 2017 attack on the Equifax. But I just want to ask a question, sir. How is it possible for us that didn't meet up with the submission? If you can give us a timeline so that we can do the work and the classroom work and update it, sir. That's just my question. Can you give us a timeline just for us to get along? So that's my question, sir.
Okay, that's a wonderful question. I wish you can record this question when we reach the question Q&A section, then you can draw it up. Currently, we are looking at what we've learned so far and what stood out from our learning so far, so that those of us that could not capture it from our own end, right, could also learn from what other people shared, their lessons. So that's where we are now, right? So we'll talk about that during our Q&A section. So we'll have, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have less than 5 minutes to round up this session. So Ishmael and Camilla, I'm going to lower your hand for now. Okay, Babatunde Fawoli, I think you're the last person. Can you unmute your mic? Let's hear you.
Yes, sir. Please can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, thank you so much for the opportunity to listen and to learn from you, sir. What I was able to learn from this week experience, from previous week experience was that actually I dare say that thank you so much for the resources you provided, because I was able to, when I was looking for, because one thing I've been able to see was that it's another thing to have knowledge and another thing for you to apply knowledge, actually. So I've been able to learn about, to know about the overclock then and know that, okay, if you go to resources for application security and for developers. But now it's another case of someone now utilizing the resources or applying it, because when looking at the Equifax data or code and seeing the different vulnerabilities that could have been, seeing different vulnerabilities that they could have patched and implementing it, and it leads to a massive security and a massive breach that leads to a lot of fines, payment of fines and security breach on their side. Proves out the importance of patching and a lot of security vulnerability that could have been patched. Thank you so much, sir. And the one thing that was challenging for me was looking for the relevant CVs after getting the vulnerability. So I had to do using like learning from options or something they call Google or something like using different sites. So it's not really easy for me to find. So I was able to watch YouTube and do some research. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's wonderful. Hat Madi, you can open up. You can open up, but you're the last person. You're the last person. Hat Madi, I'm sorry I missed you earlier. Open up. Let's hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, firstly, I want to say thank you for this opportunity your team has put up. Really wonderful one. So far, we quick because I can see you're out of time. So, I just want to say one or two. A lot of people have said a lot that I've heard in terms of what they've learned and they picked out so far in the learning. All great. We're still talking about the monitoring, the patching, constant updates, and all that, and understanding the vulnerabilities of OWASP, So that's a good one. So for me, I think cost of prevention is always lower than cost of cure in cybersecurity. That's one of my takeouts. A single unpatched vulnerability can lead to a major breach, just like our case study. So, Equifax 27 data breach was a serious one to the company because of negligence. They weren't proactive. Proactiveness in security program is a key one. It can prevent a lot of damage, which can cost you a lot at the end of the day, rather than just preventing it with little cost. So I think that's my take. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think at this moment I will have to give a quick recap or review of the previous week. Right, that's week one. So week one had a lot of conversations. First of all, we tried to help you have first-hand knowledge of what cybersecurity is, and of course, you know that I used to say that cybersecurity is not just about protecting endpoints, protecting devices, and all that. It's also it should. I think we've gotten to the point where we see cybersecurity as a way to protect our future, right? The rate of digital transformation especially in Africa, right? Especially in Africa, it's actually increasing, right? It's evolving really big time. So when this happens, of course, you can bear me witness that the more you have solutions, the more potential problems lurks around, right? So it's important while you are providing solutions, you also look at the security measures to protect this. I'm of the opinion that whatever solution that does not have security does not exist, right? Imagine your central bank of Nigeria or the central bank of your country, right? Without security measures, architecture, structures, and all that systems. Of course, money can never stay there, right? But that should have been, or what was actually envisaged to be a solution to keep money, right? So, so this is why security solutions without security, I say that solution doesn't exist because it wouldn't take a while. It will just take a while, and the solution will disappear. So this is what cybersecurity, the way we should see cybersecurity. And then we talked about OSINT as well. That we mentioned a lot of things about OSINT. OSINT is actually a very wonderful tool, especially in information gathering, right? I think I also mentioned the reason why we had to add OSINT to what we are doing, right? OSINT is just using publicly available information, right? Some people will always argue, so because it's open source, right, that means that I can actually use the information or data that I get anyhow I want it. No, that's not what it means. That it's open and free does not mean that you can consume that information the way you want, right? You need to employ ethical, strategies. You need to really be clean, right, in dealing with information. So let's not misunderstand OSINT. OSINT is a very wonderful tool